I only got 3 words for you. Ball don't lie. The USA defeat Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0 in the World Cup round of 32, and they tried to rob us. We'll talk about this as the video goes on, but just remember, before we get into everything, this was a no call. Just to remind you, this was not a yellow or a red from my memory. Just to remind you. But like, subscribe, all the good algorithm stuff. Comment down below what you thought of the match. Was it a red card? Was it not? Was it fair? Let me know. But let's get into this game. The USA on fire to start this game. Once again, starting strong. Didn't score as quickly as we usually do, but it took time to get there. And eventually we got there. 45th minute. We had plenty of chances leading up to that. Balogun scored, but he was offside, and just things went wrong for us. Bosnia held out. Eventually we get our goal. A nice little flick back heel from Adams. Goes through to Tillman. He tries to play a ball through to Balogun, and it does come off the defender. Balogun stops on a dime, shifts his weight, then takes a shot on his left foot, goes through the keeper's legs. 1-0 USA, and we have the lead going into the half. I'm flying through this game because I really want to get to the red card decision. After that, second half, not as much as what I wanted to see. I haven't been impressed with our second half so far in this tournament, and I really wanted to see us keep up what we've done in the first half in the second half. We still had flashes of it, but it wasn't as domineering as it was in the first half. The entire game, though, just to set the scene, Balogun is battling with his defender the entire game. I believe it's Muharemovic, I believe it is, the central center back in his back five. He's chasing Balogun all over the pitch. He's low-key tugging on his kit, throwing him around, but no cards shown in that first half. If you look back at the match events, entire first half, just no cards shown. Either way, even if you want to say the USA had some rough fouls, whatever, it was mostly going Bosnia, but still no cards shown, which is kind of evident of this World Cup. They're kind of letting things go here and there, which I'm not mad at. I think a lot of people have been saying the referees have been sus, and I agree. But all I ask about referees is that you keep it consistent. If you're going to call things a certain way, keep it consistent. So we get into the second half. Eventually, there's a 50-50 between Balogun and Muharemovic, who he's battling with the entire game. Balogun going for the ball. Muharemovic comes from his blind side, jumps in front of his right foot, and Balogun, not even seeing him, steps down to get his footing and steps onto his ankle. Initially, it's called nothing. Then eventually, the ball goes out or something like that, and the referee takes a look, VAR, and it gets escalated to a red card. Balogun is out, up 1-0 against Bosnia, and he's going to be out for the next game as well. Now, for me, this is rough. This is rough. Not only because of what happened, but the fact that we don't have Balogun to go against Belgium. A red card in a tournament has so many implications for it completely derailing your tournament, depending on who the player is. And for this particular call, I'm not sure I agree with it. Now, I do agree if you just take the call in a vacuum, especially if you show it as a still or as slow-mo. And that's the issue I have with slow-mo. Slow-mo makes everything look terrible. You just isolate one moment and just keep showing it in slow motion. It looks terrible. If you show a still, it looks terrible. And if you take that in a vacuum, I hear it, red card. But if you take the situation and context into play, there's really no other outcome that could have happened from what occurred. And for that to be a foul on Balogun, it's kind of harsh because there's literally nothing he could have done to avoid it, if that makes sense. If he's just playing the ball, not even knowing where the guy is coming from, and for him to jump in front of him and for that to be the outcome, what could he have done differently since he's the one who gets approached from behind? Now, for me, even if you still want to say that's a red card, I can still hear it. I'm not even mad. I'm not even arguing the red card that crazily. Maybe because we won, so I can look at it differently. But if you want to say that's a red card, this is a red card. 1000%. If that one's a red card, 100%, this is 1000% a red card. And at the time when this was not given, in my head I was like, okay, I guess I can see why that's not given. I'm not mad at it, and there's nothing against Messi. Messi just happens to be the person that did this, but he obviously is the GOAT, whatever. But for this not to be given a red card, I was like, okay, I guess this is how we're going to referee this World Cup, because this was the first game of Argentina's group stage. This is kind of setting the tone. If this is not given as even a yellow, okay, this is how we're refereeing the World Cup. That's fine with me, even if I don't necessarily understand the call in the moment. This is setting a standard. Let's just keep that consistency. And this is why I always bring it back to consistency, because now this is nothing, and Balogun gets a red card for something to me that's not as bad as this. Messi right here is behind this player, looking at him, intentionally going after the ball, makes a challenge, and is studs up, lining up with this dude's entire calf. That, to me, has to be a red if Balogun's is a red. But Balogun, on the other hand, is the one who's approached from behind and doesn't even see what's going to happen. So for me, it's just not consistent. Hate me if you want, if you say, oh, I'm hating on Messi. Really, it's not about Messi. But if this is a red, that's a red. If that's not a red, even if you want to give this a yellow, fair enough, because it does look really bad, especially if you play it in slow-mo, which I think isn't always fair. It does look poor. But for me, if you really take everything in the context, and you could also say, oh, maybe accidental doesn't come into play with red cards, sure. But if you really want to send someone off and also have them miss the next game for something that literally they could not avoid, then what are we really doing if the Messi one isn't a red card? That's just how I feel about the situation. But even all that being said, it was a red, sent off. Okay, let me just see consistency with that moving forward in the tournament. That's all I ask. That's literally all I ask. Either way, it doesn't matter because, well, it does matter long term. But in this game, Bosnia were just poor. Let's just face the facts. Even facing 10 men, getting a stimulus package, if you want to put it that way, they couldn't even score a goal. I mean, after this, they really have a lot of possession, and that's why the game ends with them having more possession than us. If you look at it, but after this, they have chances. They start to bring on an avalanche, but none of the chances are great. None of them are really amazing chances that they 100% should score. There's a point where our keeper Freeze comes out for the ball. He misses his punch. They get an opportunity, but Chris Richards a massive block to keep that one out, and he keeps us in the game. Although I think at that point we are 2-0 up. And let's speak about it, because then they foul us toward the edge of our area. Malik Tillman, who is my man of the match. I don't know who they ended up giving man of the match. Oh, yeah, they gave it to Tillman. To me, it's hard to say because I know everyone talks about Pulisic, who's a great talent. But for me, Malik Tillman is our best player. Balogun, I've really been impressed with his finishing. He's a true poacher in the box, fox in the box. McKennie is everywhere, and a lot of what we do well is because of his hard work. Freeman, I've been really impressed with as well. Richards is just solid at the back. Adams holds it down, and even his passing today was really good. Robinson's energy. But for me, Tillman, if we just want to talk about pure quality and ability, some of the things I saw from him today, just the touches around the corner, the flicks, the back heels, the quality is absurd. For especially for the US, we don't always get players of this level. And for him to step up, take that free kick when we're up 1-0, we're under pressure, we need to survive the game, because this red card comes in the 64th minute. There's a lot of time left after that to survive. And Poch doesn't even make subs that quickly afterward. He still lets us run with our players that have been on the pitch the entire time. When they have fresh legs, we take this time when to defend, we soak up pressure. We don't make subs till after we score. And for him to score that free kick, maybe honestly you could say the keeper should save it. I was a little worried for that keeper ever since he took a few too many steps to his left. He kind of gave too much space on that right side. So even though he got a hand to it, it wasn't a stiff hand. For him to score that, that might be the biggest moment in, you could argue, in US Soccer World Cup history. Not, okay, maybe you want to say some things that happened in the past, but at least in the modern game with this quote unquote golden generation, if you want to say that. I'm kind of tired of that phrase. But for the moment, because as soon as we get that red card, you can feel, oh, Just another thing that goes wrong for the US. Even when they're the favorite and things are going well, something had to go wrong, and we get bounced in the round of 32 at home against Bosnia, who don't look good. It would have been very easy for that to be the story. And it still might end up being the story in the round of 16 without Balogun. We'll see. But for him to relieve that pressure, to put us up 2-0 and give us a little bit of a cushion to just survive those last, ended up being almost 20 minutes because we had 10 minutes of extra time. Massive. Absolutely.
Yeah, baby.
Massive from Tillman. Man of the match for me and our best player easily on the day. And now we go and we face Belgium. And Belgium, Senegal, I did watch that game. Belgium showed a lot of heart in their game to come back. I thought that game was over, but Senegal just didn't see it out. They kept attacking like they were down, and Belgium snuck back in there, got that win in extra time off the penalty. Senegal late penalties. It's a bit rough, I ain't gonna lie. But that was heart from Belgium. I low-key hadn't seen much from them in this tournament so far. And for them to show that, we're going to have a game on our hands. But for me, what we just did also showed a ton of heart. A ton of heart. So, USA, Belgium, Monday night in Seattle. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to make a video on that because I might be out of the country by that point. But I will be watching. Maybe I can scrape together a video on that and we'll see what we can get done. How far can we go? The dream is still alive, but we got to survive a game with no Flo Balogun. We'll see. Like, subscribe, all the good algorithm stuff. Comment down below. Red card, not red card. Was the Messi one a red card? What do you think? What do you think? I know this one's going to be controversial, but I give my opinion on it, and I'd like to hear your guys'. So, see you guys in the next one. Peace.